So, what do you think of the draft? What were your takes, if you had any? Because I know, like I know about like some players, but I don't know every single player.
Yeah.
But like of the players that were hyped up, like what did you think of them being picked or trades or whatever?
Well, I feel like in the last couple years you've been more involved with the college players. I don't know necessarily if you watch more college football. I guess you're just more online and your algorithm is more about college than mine.
Mhm.
So I feel like actually know more about the college players. I
Mhm.
mean, not you kind of only know the top 5, 10 players, which
No,
is
I
kind of
know
like
I know enough to know like what's gonna go in the first 2 rounds, 2 to 3 rounds.
really. So
Yeah,
you know like the
but I
sixth
don't.
offensive lineman that gets picked from
No,
like
no, 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 no.
Arizona
Hold
State, you would
on.
know that.
Like I know like what are like the top five for each position. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean, of the draft. Like your
So I
defensive
don't,
backs. Yeah.
I only really knew the top 10
And it's not because I watch them.
and
It's because I watch a lot of analysts. That's what I watch.
analysts.
Yeah.
So, I mean, going into it, I mean, like I said, I don't really I've never really cared that much about the draft. I've never really paid attention. I honestly just usually I like to see the top 5, top 10, and then I usually cut it
Yeah.
off, and I usually don't pay much attention to it because
Actually, let me pull it up just in
the
case.
Chiefs never really have we never have a top pick. I mean,
Right.
we did have a number 1 overall pick in like 2011. We drafted offensive lineman. I didn't even watch that.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm starting to get more into it. Cam Ward went number 1. I mean,
Mhm.
all the analysts said that. I wasn't really
Yeah.
surprised. I mean,
I wasn't
we got a
surprised
offensive
either.
lineman from Ohio
No, no,
State.
no. Nobody cares about that.
Yeah, I care
Second,
about that.
second pick was the Browns traded down to the fifth pick, and the Jags traded up to the second pick to get Travis Hunter. That was the first trade. That was the first biggest thing.
And that was like a shocker, right?
Yeah, to me that was a shocker. I didn't really think the Jags would do that.
I don't think it was a shocker.
Like it wasn't a shocker in the sense like oh my god, that's a big deal, but it was a shocker to me. Like I didn't think the Jags were gonna be the one to pursue him as heavy.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna land ultimately on like the Patriots or the Browns. I didn't really think he was gonna end up on the Jags, but
Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to fix the lighting. Does it look good?
yeah, it looks good.
When I turn this way, it kind of looks weird, like yellow. When I
Oh,
turn this way, is it fun?
yeah,
I
looks
I can't
fine.
see myself right now.
Yeah, it looks fine to
So,
me.
Um,
But yeah, they traded up to get him, which was pretty interesting.
and that shocked you?
That
Why? I
shocked
mean,
me. That shocked me. I thought the Browns would take him. Okay, if the Browns would have taken Travis Hunter at 2, they could have traded up still in the first round and still had been able to get Shador Sanders. So they could have had Shador and Travis Hunter.
who?
The Browns. But they decided to go for
Wait, they had 2
Graham.
picks in the first round?
No, they had 1 pick, but since they traded up or traded down,
They lost that second round pick.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
No, they have the first. They have the first pick in the second round.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying, though. They could have, by now they could have had Travis Hunter, and by the second round they could have had Shador.
So if you really think about it,
They could still get Shador.
the
bro.
Browns. Okay, I don't know. Do they really need Travis Hunter? Like, they have Jerry Jeudy, who's the number 1. Like, the Jaguars are more in need of a Travis Hunter type player than the Browns.
Yeah, I
And
think
the
so
Browns
too.
also got a shit ton back. Because they got the fifth pick, right? Who they pick with the 5th?
Mason Graham, defensive tackle, Michigan.
That's right. So
He's a good football
So
player.
the Jaguars traded their. Honestly, I don't even remember.
They got the best defensive tackle in the draft. This is really good for them. Their
But
defensive line is going to be really beefy, which is good. But that pick alone just told you that they're not concerned at all about rebuilding their offense just quite yet. At least to me. I mean, from the first round. maybe they were trying to see how low Shador was gonna fall, but maybe they have the first pick in the second round. They might go for Shador here. You know what I mean? Like, and get that
Who, the
quarterback.
Browns?
Yeah,
I thought they didn't have a second round pick.
they do. I just told you they do.
Wait, you know what would be crazy? This would never happen. They say the Jaguars drafted Shador to pair him up with his former teammate Hunter, but they have Trevor Lawrence.
They have Trevor Lawrence.
So this whole trade came down to the Jaguars wanted Travis Hunter more than the Browns, and they were willing to trade a lot of picks. They traded like 3 different picks. Now the Browns are kind of set for next year. They're gonna have like 2 first rounds now.
And then
this is kind of a setting them up for the future. But at the same time, like, you're passing up. I don't know.
It's kind of like it's hard to tell right now how it's gonna play
hard
out.
to tell.
But like in 5 years from now, we could look back and be like, "Damn, the Browns really fumbled Travis Hunter, that generational player who was like Shohei Ohtani, playing on both ends of the field." But
that's
like,
the thing. Like, how are the Jaguars really gonna allow him? There's no way he's gonna play everything, 100% of the snaps. It's just interesting to see like what. Yeah, the analysts say that it's gonna be mostly offense and like a little bit on defense.
They said it was
interesting
gonna
though,
be
because
like,
obviously, and Travis Hunter wants to play 100% of the snaps. It's never been done before. And I think if he does, he's going to be injury prone. He's going to be one of those players I think that is going to get injured a lot. He needs to put on some muscle, but he's a generational talent. So the Jaguars. What were you going to say, though?
they say he was gonna play like 70-30, like 70% of the time receiver and then 30% of the time cornerback, or like 80-20, something like that. Like,
The interesting thing
he was
is
gonna be mostly playing receiver though.
The interesting thing is the Jaguars actually need him on defense too. Like, they're not one of those teams that like they only need a receiver. Like, they probably picked him so that he could play defense and offense because they need him on defense and they need him on offense.
Leo.
The Browns really didn't need him to play defense. I think that's why another reason they traded up. They have what?
He's gonna ruin my fucking dress. Leo, get out.
This is a every episode thing we have to deal with something with the animals. But yeah, like the Browns really didn't need him on defense. They have Ward, they have a couple other good corners. Like, I think that's another reason they traded away. But I'm not mad at it. I mean,
yeah. All right, let's continue. Third pick, Abdul Carter, edge.
No idea. I had nothing to say about him.
Yeah, I think this is a good
guys.
pick
I
for
really
the
don't.
Giants.
I don't really watch college football.
I think this was a good pick for the Giants. I think they needed an edge rusher real bad, and he kind of mimics Micah Parsons a lot. So,
we don't have to talk about every
we
pick.
don't have to talk about every pick. Jane T to the Raiders. I was kind of mad about that. I hated that.
They need a running back so bad.
I did not want that to happen.
Why didn't you want that to happen? You want him to? You think he was gonna fall to the Chargers?
No,
Imagine.
No, I just didn't want him to go to the Raiders, like another one of our division rivals. Just somewhere else, just not the Raiders. But
Hey, the Raiders are never gonna be good in our lifetime. The fans suck. The team sucks. And I hope that they have a losing seasons for the rest of eternity.
If they win a Super Bowl next year, I'm going to hate you.
Hey, if they win a Super Bowl next year, I'll give you $1 million that I don't have. Because they're not winning a Super Bowl next year.
How much you...
I think the Broncos. I think the Broncos are more likely to win a Super Bowl
Let's
next
say it right
year
now.
than the Raiders.
Who will win a Super Bowl first? The Cowboys or the Raiders? That one...
The Cowboys.
The Cowboys will win first. Holy shit.
I don't know. It seems like it's hard to believe Geno Smith and Pete Carroll are. I mean, they know they have history, but just kind of like they're just throwing a bunch of pieces together and hoping it works. Kind of like the Jets,
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. That kind of vibe. Yeah. So you guys drafted.
Wait. Is there any other big news? I mean, before we get to our teams, which.
I guess, yeah, Shador didn't get drafted in the first round. I should have probably said that. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody's watching this. If you watch football, you know. That was kind of
I guess he had
surprising.
I guess he had like a huge event planned for after he got drafted. He had a party. There was still videos. He was having a great night. Like he was rapping and doing karaoke, but I guess he like was planning on getting drafted. And
Wow.
I don't know. He seemed like he was in good spirits. Like maybe this will give him like kind of how like Lamar Jackson when he fell to 30, like it gave him like a huge motivation.
Like that
Maybe that will
villain
because
arc.
that could happen. If your dreams are, I mean, he's still gonna get drafted. Obviously, he's not gonna fall to the third round. Like he's gonna get picked in the second round. But
Yeah.
this will give him a huge chip on his shoulder. Maybe that's what he needs too, because he hasn't had a chip on his shoulder his whole life. He's been given everything. You know what I mean?
That's true. I mean, he's kind of like this is kind of like LeBron's son kind of storyline as well. Like, is it really like is he really gonna be that good, or is it just because it's superstar son? You know what I
It's
mean?
hard to tell, dude.
So it's hard to
like,
tell. But now that he's fallen second, maybe this will give him that motivation to like prove people wrong and prove people like
Look,
wrong.
I would not want the job of a general manager of a football team or like a scout, especially trying to go for a quarterback, because it's so 50-50. Like, you know how hard it is to pick the right guy? Tom Brady was in the 6th round. He fell to the 6th round. No one knew it. I mean, Zach Wilson was a second overall pick at the Jets. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It's
hard to
hard to
tell
tell.
until
Yeah.
like who knows if Cam Ward might be a bust. No one knows for
Yeah.
sure if he's gonna be like Trevor Lawrence was gonna be this like generational talent that was gonna take them to the Super Bowl every year, and like they've been kind of bad every year, you know. The
Joe Burrow.
Bears could have drafted Patrick Mahomes and they picked fucking Mitchell Trubisky instead. Like this shit is hard. It's hard, you know,
It is hard.
because the college game to the NFL is so different.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're judging everything, and he didn't go to the combine too. I think that dropped his that made him drop to the second round a little, because these teams they don't have anything to judge him on besides games. Like they don't know his 40-yard dash. He really is not a fast guy, right? I mean, he's not like Lamar Jackson speed or Jaden Daniels, you know?
No.
He has a good build, like he's tall and built. He's not super scrawny like Jaden Daniels, but we don't know his vertical jump. We don't know his 40-yard dash. We don't know his arm talent. I mean, just from the game, and it's pro day, but
Yeah.
I wonder if you're an NFL GM, NFL owner, you're like, damn, like I really wanted to see him, but he didn't show up. So, and he didn't show up to the what's it called?
Who knows?
The actual draft too. And
I've never really liked him, honestly. I think he's I'm not saying that I don't like him, but I'm not very fond of him because of his attitude. I don't like his. It is not anything to do with his game, because I think all of the parts of your game is always improvable. It's always fixable. You're always able to improve, fix, whatever, adjust. But his attitude, the way he is, he's cocky. I think he's too out there. He's too bling bling, too much chain, too much money, too much extravagant, like so much like he wants people to be looking at him. You know what I mean? Like this is not a humble kid. This is not a kid who's like, oh, like,
Yeah.
I know what I have, but like I know my family has money, my parents
Yeah.
have money, but I don't care for those things. Like you could tell he cares about those things. He cares about the cars, the parties, the
Yeah.
chains, the
I think-
status, like so
I think that's another reason that
Yeah.
he didn't get drafted,
yeah.
But 100% agree with what you
But-
just said. Like,
Again, that could just be like if we look back on this in 5 years and he's, been to the playoffs and been a decent quarterback, then we're just gonna look back and be like, damn, like, we were wrong. It doesn't really matter if you're cocky and live that lifestyle,
because everyone
Maybe you're
everyone
able
likes
to
to
do
root
that.
for the guy that came from nothing. Like his dad left
Like
his
Cam
mom
Ward.
when they were at a young age, and they were living in a low income in the slums.
Mm-hmm.
Like this guy's since the time he was born was living in a mansion.
Yeah.
Like he had a king size bed at the age of 2. Like, come on, dude. Like, yeah, I 100% agree. And like he kind of walks that fine line between cocky and confident. There's a difference, and maybe he needs to be maybe this is maybe this will humble him. Like Bronny James, who's in a similar situation, he's already been humbled twice. One when he almost died at USC. Remember when that happened when he was training and he almost died? And then two, getting drafted but like barely playing. Maybe Shador needs something like that. But he also needs to like kind of like separate himself from his dad a little bit, I think. Or do you disagree? I mean, because that could be a distraction.
I don't think so. I don't think his dad is a distraction because his dad has been in the game. He's been at the top. He knows what it takes. I just don't think he utilizes his dad the way that he should be. Yeah. I think Travis Hunter used Shador's dad more better than the way that Shador uses his dad, Dion. Because, like, he has, like, the perfect figure in his life to show him how to get up there. Yeah. You know, he knows what it takes. He knows what they're going to be looking at. He has the connections. But it's like, it really goes to show that you could really have everything and still have nothing at all. So, I don't know. Like, we'll see. It's really hard to tell right now. Like, when we look 5 years from now, we'll really see if we were wrong or right. Or
I mean, I'm very interested, which at the time of this recording tonight is the second round. So, like, who are the first few teams and, like, who's going to be willing to get them? Because, I mean, you're kind of getting a steal. Like, you're getting a top 3 quarterback in the second round. Like, some teams are going to go for him. Even teams that already have, you know what I mean? Even teams that already have a starting quarterback, they might just want him as a backup at this point.
Well, when we were watching the draft, it was like, we were like, oh, he's going to go top 5. So then top 5 comes and there's nothing. So then we're like, the analysts were like, okay, the next few teams probably won't draft him, but the Saints have to. The Saints have to. He's a perfect fit there. It comes around. Saints don't draft him. They draft the O-line, which also weird, but okay. So then they're like, okay, that was interesting, but now nobody really needs a quarterback. He's gonna fall to the Steelers.
It got to a certain point where it's like, okay, if he doesn't get drafted here, then he's not gonna get drafted because no one else needs a quarterback.
Right. So then,
but the Steelers and the Saints, they don't need a quarterback. Like, you're making it seem like these are two teams that like are in desperate. I mean, I guess the Steelers is different. They do need a quarterback, but
I mean, Derek Carr is gonna take them to the playoffs.
But I'm talking about the Steelers. How long are they willing to wait for Aaron Rodgers?
The Steelers don't have a quarterback. They haven't signed anyone.
But they were really wanting Aaron Rodgers.
Everybody keeps saying Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is over here contemplating retirement.
Who is a better quarterback next year for your team? Aaron Rodgers or Shador Sanders? You're gonna pick Aaron Rodgers every single day.
I mean, personally, if I was the Steelers, I would try to get both. I would probably try to get a quarterback drafted.
That would not work.
And I would try to get Aaron Rodgers to be the starter and just work behind Aaron Rodgers. Try to get somebody in the shadows, and start working and start seeing. You know, is this somebody who you could see as your quarterback?
When you think about Aaron, like it's almost May and he still hasn't made a decision. Like, is he really gonna choose? Is he really gonna sign with a team like days before training camp starts? Like, it's just hard to. But at the same time, he's that type of guy that likes all the attention on him. He likes to make a show, you know.
Yeah, I just don't.
So I don't know.
I don't think he's gonna play.
I don't think you want him to play. What do you actually think's gonna happen?
I don't think he's gonna play. I think if he wanted to play, he would have already signed by now. And I think that if he does sign by now, it just shows that he had a hard time coming up with a decision. He rushed into a decision. He's going to play, but he's not going to play fantastic, and he's not going to go far.
Okay, he's but when you're like...
I bet that if he does come back, I bet, how much you want to bet, I'll bet my life, that he won't even go to the playoffs, whichever team he goes to.
Yeah, but also when you're a Hall of Fame player, do you really want to end your career on a terrible year?
You have to end it somehow. I mean, at this point, it's like he can't really end his career on a great note anymore.
I don't think that's true.
I think that's true.
You've always hated it. I mean, I don't understand the hate. I mean, you just weren't. let's stop with Aaron. This isn't about Aaron Rodgers. We're talking about the draft.
So
I want to give.
I
I want to
wanna-
get talking
I wanna
about our
continue,
picks.
But you interrupt me. So then we're like, okay, Shador's gonna drop down to the Steelers. They don't pick him. So then after the Steelers was the Chargers. So then that's when I was like, shit. Well, we're not taking him, that's for sure. But I was curious to see who we were gonna get, and I think it just came down to best available. And the two players that I saw that were best available at the time were Marion Hampton and Matthew Golden, and I think they were both great. But I think with Jim Harbaugh's like the way he likes to run an offense is pound the ball, number one, and then number two, I think they were probably looking for a receiver that would complement Ladd. And I think if they didn't pick Matthew Golden, it's for a reason. But they went with Omarion Hampton. I guess his like player comp is like a Jahmyr Gibbs type of player. So hopefully that like he like resembles that, and he's great for us behind Najee.
I don't hate the pick.
I don't hate the pick
for
either.
you guys. Did you guys get rid of the running back you had last year?
Yeah, we don't have J.K. Dobbins anymore.
What happened to him?
Free agency.
Where'd he
we
go?
just didn't re-sign him.
Where'd
I
he-
don't know.
Because
I don't think he's been
he
picked
at the first half of last year, he was like a top 5 running back, especially in
Yeah.
fantasy wise. Like he was like up there.
Yeah.
Kind of had a drop off, but
We ended up
I
signing
don't.
Najee Harris for 1 year. So it makes sense that they drafted
I forgot about that.
It makes sense that they drafted a running back because they're not going to they don't plan on having Najee for years to come. So this is a smart pick. This seems like they want him to work behind Najee for the year and then hopefully flourish and make him the starter and make him the running back of our franchise.
The NFL is now nowadays in the NFL, you have to have 2 solid running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think eventually it's gonna get to the point where you have to be like the Lions. You have to have 2 guys that could be number ones, but you can't have one running back with 100% of the snaps unless you're Saquon Barkley. But it just doesn't work out. Like the running back position gets injured at more than any other position in the league, especially when you're playing every snap. You're getting hit so fucking hard every time.
Yeah.
So that's why I think we need to draft a running back in the second round because of like you can't rely on one guy. But
yeah.
I'm not. I don't. If I was a Chargers fan, I wouldn't be like, oh my god, they didn't draft a wide receiver. Like this is crazy. Like there's still rounds to go.
Right.
There's still guys out there. You guys got Ladd. It's not like you guys have no one. You guys have Ladd. He was like in the second Rookie of the Year nominations.
That's why I'm not.
So it's like
bummed
it's
out.
we're chilling. You know. You're
Yeah,
chilling.
we still have the second and third round to go, or like rounds to go. But honestly, I'm not even worried about them like drafting a receiver. Like I'd rather them go for those like positions that are harder to fill out.
It also seems like Harbaugh wants the offense to be formulated more around the run game than the pass game.
Yes, he's heavy on the run game,
which doesn't usually lead to Super Bowls unless you're the Eagles. But the Eagles have an elite pass game as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he wants to get that solid before he starts going. But that's smart. I mean,
I think
he's always been that type of coach.
I think in every
you know?
team you need to have a solid run game.
Like, would you be surprised if he drafts an offensive lineman in the second round, and then like another offensive lineman? No,
I don't think he's gonna draft offensive line because if he does draft offensive line, it'd be interior offensive line. But we already have it like figured out for the year.
Yeah.
But I could see them drafting like a center or like a guard, but in the third round. I don't think they're gonna go for a guard or a center in the second round.
The thing about like
I think they'll go for a tight end or wide receiver, tight end, or something in the defense, whether it's an edge or a defensive tackle.
offensive lineman, it's not like a pretty it's not pretty. Like when you pick them, like it's not gonna make people go like, oh my god. But a good offensive lineman will win you Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Even though I just said that it doesn't, but it actually will. Like, look at the Eagles; they have 5 elite guys, and it's like hard to get to the quarterback when they're back there.
Well, it's nice.
But it's a long-term plan, you know.
We got like our 2 tackles of our franchise, like so we don't have to worry about tackles for a while. Thank goodness, Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt. But now it's like our interior of our O line is like where we signed Mekhi Becton from the Eagles, which for a couple years, which is nice. But since they signed him for a couple years, I think they want to see how that goes, and then from there take it. But we're gonna need another guard and another center, like of the future. Like we have fillers right now, which are solid, but they're not like ideal. That's not where we want to be either.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Well,
See
speaking
how
of
it goes.
offensive line, the Kansas City Chiefs select what's his name?
Oh,
What's his
hold on.
name?
Wait, hold on.
Hold
So then
on. What happened?
After the Chargers picked, it was the Packers, and they selected for the first time in like many years a wide receiver, Matthew Golden, and the crowd went nuts. Like they absolutely love this pick. I love this pick for the Packers. I think this is a great pick. I think he's gonna fit that offense really nicely, and I think he's gonna be a dangerous wide receiver for them. I think he's gonna be great there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Giants traded up to the 25th pick to get Jackson Dart. That
They
one
traded
was
up from what?
that was surprising. This was like a trade, from Houston.
But how many picks up did they trade
I
up?
don't know, babe. It doesn't tell me how many fucking picks here.
So we drafted offensive linemen. We actually, we traded with the Eagles. We had the 31st pick, they had the 32nd, and we swapped with them, which I thought was a little weird doing that. But we get the position that was our weakest position all last year. I mean, we had to switch one of our other offensive linemen to that side because it was so bad. So now we got the guy. Hopefully, I mean, they're saying that if he was healthy last year, he would have been the best offensive lineman in the draft. So I think we got a steal. I mean, it was an obvious pick. We had to get him. We had to boost up. I mean, we had to protect the fucking gold, the Patrick Mahomes. What do you think about that pick?
So, yeah, I mean, obvious pick, yeah.
And I guess Eagles got a pretty good guy too. They got a linebacker, right?
Mhm. Anyways, I was saying Houston traded with New York Giants to get Jackson Dart. I thought that was weird. I didn't think Jackson Dart is deserving of the first round. That's going to be interesting to see. I think he's going to be the next Zach Wilson of the league.
Well, he's not even going to play next year.
Yeah.
Unless Russell Wilson just goes completely shit, which I could see that happening.
Probably. It's the Giants. I thought Falcons made some good trades, actually. They traded... They got 2 picks in the first round, and they ended up getting 2 edge rushers. I thought that was really smart for them. They've been needing help on the defense, so I think their defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
So I think them getting edge rushers was nice. I think that was a W for them. From there on, everybody else just kind of, they were not anything crazy.
I guess the story of the second round is going to be how much farther does Shador drop. Imagine if Jalen Milroe gets picked up before Shador. He just keeps dropping. He goes to the third round.
Damn, that'd be insane. Yeah, because here, look, the Browns get...
They're the number 1 pick in
and
the
then
second
they get
round.
the 4th pick in the second round. So they have...
Wait. They should pick him.
That's what I'm saying.
Houston doesn't need him. Dude. If the Browns pass on him, dude.
That's weird. That's so weird. That's actually weird.
Because look at the top 7 there. Or click on your phone. Houston doesn't need him. Tennessee doesn't need him. Raiders don't need him. None of those teams besides the Browns need a quarterback.
Literally.
Go down a little bit.
After the 7th.
I mean, maybe the Saints,
but that'd be weird if they let him pass all the way down to the Saints.
I think if the Browns don't pick him, the Saints will, and if he drops past that, then something's going on.
Yeah,
maybe something happened around the GM group chat. They found out that he has a fucking arthritis in his knee or something, and they're it just word spread. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's a no-brainer for the Browns. They should wait. Go back up. So go back up to that. So they don't need to pick him in the first. Guess why? Because they know that Houston and Tennessee isn't going to pick him, so they know that he'll be there at 4.
Right.
So they could go with like a different player,
player.
At the first pick, and then wait for 4 and then
Yeah.
get him. That makes so much sense because Houston and Tennessee is not going to.
Well,
pick
let's
him up.
think. What does the Browns need? They might go running back because Nick Chubb he could
But-
be not the same as he was.
But he won't be the same.
Yeah, he won't be the same. So they could go running back. I could see that. They could go receiver. They could go cornerback.
I feel like they need offensive line because you can have a good running back, but if you don't have a line, your running back's not gonna be able to do shit.
Yeah, they might go offensive line, and then they might go.
I think they go offensive line.
And then they go quarterback. After
I think they go
that.
offensive line. They drafted a
Yeah.
defensive tackle. They don't. Their defense has always been pretty good.
Yeah.
I think their weaknesses has been at offensive line.
Yeah.
And then get Shador at 4.
Yeah.
They have Jerry Jeudy. I don't know their other receiver. Oh, they got obviously Garrett on defense.
Oh, it's like Tillman or something. Cedric Tillman or something.
Interesting stuff. I think we should move over to NBA now. What's been your? We've kind of been keeping up with it. I feel like, there's really one series in the first round. First of all, the Sixers obviously didn't make it for the first year, and like it's been like 7 years since we haven't made the playoffs. Which part of me is like, fuck, like this sucks. But part of me is like, okay, I don't have to stress about it. Like I can enjoy these other series, and they always disappoint me anyway. Why get it? Every year I get excited. I'm like, oh, this is our year. This is like every year it feels like, oh my god, we can actually make the finals, and then we go up against the fucking Celtics, and they beat like. I'm always disappointed, With the Chiefs, I'm never disappointed. They always make me proud, like a proud father, But I've been real interested in this Lakers series. What other series? That's really the best series. The Clippers Nuggets series is looking pretty juicy. Let's talk about the Lakers series because. When that Luka trade first happened, no one thought that they would be a 3 seed. They would be this good. They would be looking strong going into playoffs. It's a tough Minnesota team though. It's a tough Minnesota team. They got a young Anthony Edwards, a superstar in the making. He could be Michael Jordan's son. There's a conspiracy out there.
Yeah.
He could.
I told my dad that. He's
dude.
like, really? He thought I was being for real. I was like, no, it's a conspiracy. Like,
dude,
it's not
so believable.
real, but...
It was Jimmy Butler was also the conspiracy too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was.
But you can't they just put it on the guys that don't have dads. Like there's so many guys that don't have black guys that don't have dads, bro. Like you could say that about half the black guys in America.
Oh.
But. What are your thoughts on the Lakers? Do you got them winning the series? Do you think they could make a finals run? And I used to hate LeBron, dude. I used to hate him, dude. Yeah, but
LeBron?
I'm kind of a fan of him now. I would kind of like to see a fucking LeBron in the finals. And if they get another ring, oh my god, Imagine the Michael Jordan diehard fans, if LeBron was another ring, they're going to be so pissed.
They'd be like, what the fuck? Now my argument is dead.
Because they're all like, oh, no matter what LeBron does, Jordan's still my GOAT. You should have seen him in the 80s and 90s, dude. He was a fucking god. They called him Black Jesus. Like, they did.
Oh, they did?
So, what are your thoughts?
I think... For the series or LeBron or what? Just the series?
It's just such an interesting series to me.
I think it's a great series.
Because Luka...
I think they're both getting tested. I think Lakers are getting tested on their defense. We know what their offense can do, but what can their defense do? Okay? We know LeBron has experience in the playoffs. He's lived in the big moments. Luka, he has that kind of experience recently. Not as extensive, but still. And then the Timberwolves, they've went to the playoffs last year too. You could say they almost have they have a great roster and they have good depth, but there are some players that are just big questions. Like Rudy Gobert, other than defense, blocking shots and being in the paint, what else can he fucking do? And rebounding. What else can he fucking do? He can't play perimeter defense. We saw Luka put him on skates multiple times. He just no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is the first time that like LeBron, like when AD was on the Lakers, like
That it could go 7 games.
you
I
could
could see
say
this
you could
going.
say AD was the best player on the team, but it was like a debate. But
Yeah.
now Luka's clearly the best player, and I feel like LeBron for the first time in a while can like let him control the offense, and LeBron does all the little shit. He play makes, he gets rebounds, he gets assists, and Luka does most of the scoring. And I feel like you're seeing LeBron in this new role at an old age where he feels he doesn't have all that pressure on him to score 30 points.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have to score 30 points. Luka's scoring 30 every game.
Well, last
LeBron's actually
time-
playing defense. He's actually like running the floor. He's getting everyone involved, and like it's kind of scary. Like if what were you gonna say though?
Last time they showed a stat and like LeBron dropped 30 and Luka dropped 30. So like they're both still
If their
contributing.
defense,
hella.
like if they're because LeBron and Luka they've been probably two of the worst defenders in the league. So like if they really lock in on defense, like they could really make it. But I agree. I could see this going 7 games, which it would be in LA if it goes 7. So
that'd be nice.
that'd be a crazy crowd.
That'd be nice.
I want the Lakers to win, and I want the Warriors to win. I want to see LeBron and Steph Curry in the second round, dude. And Draymond Green and fucking Jimmy Butler and fucking look. Oh my God! Imagine. Are you good? You're fucking like chewing that thing to death.
No, I'm not
You're
chewing.
like one of those
anything.
birds with a.
I'm not chewing anything.
What are you doing over there?
I'm taking
You're
off
cleaning
my
them
fucking nails.
on the pod. Is this the right time?
Yeah, because they're annoying and
We're having a
one
convo.
so one fell today. So if you're a girl, you know that if one falls, you can't have all of them
Why
on.
not?
That shit looks ghetto.
What if it's
You
your?
have
What if
all
it's the
beautiful-
pinky one?
You have beautiful hands and then you go like this and then this one is the one that's missing. Yeah, fuck that shit.
Why would you flip anyone off, Andrea? You're fucking rude.
I don't care. I'm just like
Um.
no. I think Lakers. Look. I don't have a favorite NBA team, so I feel like I'm the most unbiased like person.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a favorite team. I've just kind of like stuck with, like whenever the Sixers play, I go for them because I know that you like them. But like I never grew up like watching basketball. Like my family was never a big basketball family. But I've always liked Steph Curry, so I'm really hoping that Golden State does well, and I guess the Lakers. So other
And
than
that
that, I don't.
The Thunder look dominant, dude.
Bro, Thunder looking like extremely dominant.
I don't think there's any team in the West that's as good as them.
Yeah, top to bottom, they're insanely good. And we were talking about this. We were like, if you take like one of these star players out of the equation, like they could still be good. If you take Shea out of the equation, he's like not in that team. He's out. They're still good.
They would still beat the Grizzlies, I think.
Yeah, they still have a great team. Like if you take Chet out, if you take, you know what I mean? Like they're
And
still
they
a great
have
team.
so much depth, and they just play like together, and they're all young, and they
And they're all, like,
fly around,
friends.
and they're all friends. They play great defense.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're gonna go up against either the Nuggets or the Clippers, which is way more of a test than they're gonna have against the Grizzlies. I have a feeling the Clippers are gonna win this series against the Nuggets. Just they just blew out the Nuggets. Like I don't know. I gotta sneeze. No, it's going away.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see that.
I think the Thunder would beat the Clippers though in the second round.
Thunder will beat the yeah.
I think the Nuggets is a harder matchup because of Jokic. I don't know if I mean Hartenstein's a good defender, but is he a good enough defender to guard Jokic 1-on-1?
Yeah, one of the best.
I don't know. It's interesting though.
Yeah, it'll
It's
be definitely
interesting.
interesting.
I think it's either going to be Thunder Lakers or Thunder Timberwolves in the conference finals.
Yeah,
It's hard to tell.
Thunder Timberwolves would be very entertaining.
I would like that. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good series. Similar
Honestly,
styles,
a lot
you
of
know?
these variations are very entertaining. I just hope it's not something like fucking Rockets and like
in the conference finals.
yeah, like something like lame as hell. Like I don't want to see that. I want to see the best of the best. You know what I mean? So hopefully it is that.
Dude,
and
this year is
hopefully-
like it's so wide open. Like
hopefully there's no upsets.
There's
like,
been years past, like when I first started watching basketball, where I was like, okay, like everyone knows the fucking Spurs are going all the way.
yeah,
Everyone knows the Warriors with KD, like no one's gonna beat them.
yeah.
Everyone knows the Cavaliers are going to the finals. But this year and like the last 3 to 4 years, there's been like at least 6 teams I could see making it go all the way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, it's definitely super interesting in the East. I mean, the Pistons, who they've been playing,
They just lost. They're down 2-1 against the Knicks.
The Knicks, yeah. So that's been a
we're huge
real
Knicks
good.
haters.
Yeah, we're Knicks. Look, it's not even the Knicks. It's Brunson, bro. He's annoying. Okay, like if the Knicks didn't have Brunson, like I honestly would probably just be like, but like Brunson, he's just annoying, bro. I don't know. He's like those annoying ass players. But
I mean, how the hell did? Yeah, I don't want to get into the Brunson hate because they're probably gonna beat the Pistons. They're gonna lose to the Celtics. Like it's just you're just waiting on you're going to the fucking.
I just want
the boss fight. The boss fight. You're going to the boss fight in the second round. What'd you say?
I just want the Pistons to win because, like,
I did too.
I just feel like, last year, like, it was crazy for them. They were like the worst team in the league. They went on like that history, history setting losing streak where they lost like 17 games in a row or some shit. Yeah. Like the fans were wearing paper bags to the games, like with sad faces. Like it was just so crazy. And now it looks like a completely different team. They got a new coach. Cade Cunningham is playing great. They got Tobias Harris. They got Schroeder. Yeah. Like they got like some good pieces, and they're playing like real good defense. That old school defense that they're historically known for. So. That's it's really good to see, and I hope that they just beat these Knicks, and I
Knicks have been giving them a tough test. They give them a tough test.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a team in the East that's as good as on the level of the Celtics.
Yeah.
Like the Celtics are gonna have another easy road to the fucking finals. Yeah. I mean the Cavs are good, but like the Cavs aren't as good as the Celtics, bro.
Who else is over there? It's the
Cavs, Celtics, Knicks, Pacers.
Wait, the Cavs have been playing good, but they're underrated. Nobody talks about them. They had like the best record in the East. Better than the Celtics. Season, though.
Playoffs is different. A 7-game series is different, you know.
I guess so, but okay. If
Donovan Mitchell chokes a lot.
Hold on. If the Cavs and the Celtics play, I think that would actually be a really good game. That would be a really good series because, like, they can go, like, player for player, neck to neck.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
They got what's his name? That tall ass motherfucker Mobley? With the fro. Is that
Jared Allen?
Jared Allen and Mobley. Like that's like low key like Twin Towers right there.
Okay, but what do you mean player for player? Like you're saying the Cavs have a better team than the Celtics? Player for player, they don't.
I think they're underrated. I think that's what it is.
I agree. They're underrated. I mean,
but I think they're still like good. Like
I agree. I think, but there's levels to it.
Donovan Mitchell compared to what's his face? Who's their starting point guard?
The Celtics?
Yeah, what's his name?
Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday. Like,
but Donovan's not a point guard.
Oh, what is
shooting guard?
Bro, that's the same shit.
So you have to compare Donovan Mitchell to Jaylen Brown.
That's the same
shit. I'm picking Jaylen Brown.
Guard.
I'm picking Jaylen Brown.
Guards. So the two.
Why can't you compare him to Jaylen Brown?
Huh?
Compare Donovan to Jaylen Brown.
Okay.
Who's the better player?
Probably Jaylen Brown.
Okay. But like, and then guard.
But like Donovan Mitchell is not that much like lower.
Yeah, I'm not hating on the Cavs. Like, I mean, can you even say they're underrated when they're the number 1 seed and had like the second best record in the league?
I think they're
everyone knows.
They're underrated because nobody talks about them. Everybody just talks about these big name teams, and they're just like
maybe
like
the
right. Celtics. Like, of course they deserve that because they just won a championship, but like it's also like it's really hard to win back to back.
Yeah,
and I just don't see them winning back to back.
Really?
I don't think they got an in them.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Even bringing back almost the exact same team as last year. What is going to be that stumbling block? Like, is it going to be like injuries? Is it going to be they just went into the they faced the wrong team? Like, what's it going to be though?
Themselves.
They're going to beat themselves.
Mm-hmm.
In what way? Like
I don't know.
Losing concentration.
I don't know. I just don't think. I think it comes down to Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and I just don't think they're. I don't know. I think it's really Tatum. I just don't think he has it in him. I don't know. It's just a
So other than
feeling. It's not really like.
So you think the Cavs would beat them in a 7-game series?
I don't know. I think it would be close. I don't know.
What about the Pacers? Would the Pacers beat them in a 7-game series?
I don't know. It depends how. I don't know. It's just like hard to tell. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, I think the Cavs have a better chance of beating the Celtics.
Then who?
Than the Pacers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But so I think if anybody in the East would beat them, it'd be the Pacers, the Knicks if they lock the fuck in. Yeah, those two.
Yeah. Hey, if I had to put my money on it, I think it's gonna be a Thunder, Celtics. That's kind of obviously the most obvious pick.
Bro, that's like the most obvious answer, bro. I think it's gonna be. Okay, this is how I think it's gonna.
Oh, dude, Lakers Celtics will be.
Shut up! Shut up! Bro, why is he always gonna steal my fucking thunder,
did I
bro?
Say, is that what? Oh, Thunder, steal your thunder. You think the Thunder are gonna make it, huh? Steal your thunder, huh?
Bro, he's so annoying. Okay, I was gonna say that I think. Your breath stinks. I think
you got hit with a dust bomb.
I think it's gonna be the Lakers Warriors.
Spit it out, dude.
Hold on, for like that conference final, right?
That can't be the conference final. They're gonna meet in the second round.
Oh, the second round, right? So then it's like Steph Curry versus LeBron. Like, who's gonna win? Whoever wins that is gonna go to the final, right? So I think it'd probably be the Lakers, right? So then the Lakers go to the finals to meet the Celtics. And LeBron has like 400 dunks in that fucking game to win the fucking championship.
400? That's impossible.
Yeah. Shh.
No, well, that would be the best matchup.
Don't tell LeBron that anything is impossible because he will break that record.
That would be the best matchup for ratings. Like, the NBA would love that. But I just haven't seen... The Thunder have not given me a reason to believe that they're not going to go to the finals. But
is it true?
I'm not an NBA analyst.
Who you think? Lakers or Thunder? Pick one. Pick one. He's licking this one a lot. This is Lakers.
Anything else you want to talk about? I mean, I know you said you had some baseball, some breaking news or something, right?
Breaking news! The Padres have traded for Ronald Acuna Jr. No, they haven't.
What are your sources?
Per Adrena.
Bro, you gotta act. You can't be smiling as you're lying about breaking news. You gotta act serious.
I mean, it's just baseball going on, right now. Nothing extremely crazy.
No breaking news?
No, just like today we have a game today. Jackson Merrill should be back from injury, hopefully. Luis Ariz seems to be doing better. We're just gonna be kind of waiting for the other guys to come back, but hopefully this series we get Jackson. That'll be a big help there. And then, yeah, I mean, baseball's been fun.
Baseball has been baseballing.
Yeah, it's been interesting because like Shohei has not been the best player right now. In the league, it's always Aaron Judge. Like, that's the thing about Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is like a, who can I compare him to? Like Embiid type of player, like in the regular, or I don't know, whoever in the regular season is a phenomenal, and then like come to the playoffs, they just kind of, they fall off heavily. Like it should be studied heavily. And but yeah, he's been playing great. Francisco Lindor has been great. Juan Soto has not been playing up to the standard of 700 mil, so that's interesting. The fans have not been happy about that. Yeah. So, what about the Royals? How have they been doing?
No idea.
Really?
No idea. I'm not watching baseball, dude.
Yeah. Cubs have been doing great. Kind of rooting for them. They've been beating the Dodgers' ass, which I love that. They kind of beat the Padres' ass too, but it was more even than the Dodgers. They fucking killed the Dodgers. Who? The Cubs.
I think the Cubs are going to go to the
World Series. Are you not hearing me?
I think the Cubs are World Series bound.
World Series?
Yeah. I think it's their year. I think no one sees them coming, but I think they're deep down they're the best team in the league. They have that it factor. I don't know.
We'll see.
I'm putting my life savings on it, which is $200. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
Cubs against the Royals in the World Series. It's gonna happen. Let's go, baby. All right, y'all. Should we wrap it up?
Why
you look like that? I'm just kidding. I think the Padres are going all the way.
I don't know.
Just look at the flag, dude. Look at that dude. Look at that dude with the fucking
Hopefully.
That head. Look at that head, bro. Look at that head. How does it even go back that fucking far? How does he not break his spine, dude? Damn. With his flip flops on, the dogs are out, baby. The dogs are out. Hey, I'm ready for fucking summer, dude. I'm ready to wake up and hear the birds chirping with 80-degree weather. I don't have to get close. I could just walk outside naked and feel the breeze hit my asshole.
No one wants to see
and
you
my balls
naked, dude.
and
Jaden, stop. That's disgusting. It's like
that's what summer's all about.
It's like
that's what summer's all about, bro.
It's like me saying I'm gonna walk outside naked. I can't wait to let my titties breathe.
Hey,
nobody wants to see me fucking naked, dude. That's fucking gross.
Hey, I'm ready.
Nobody wants to see you naked.
I'm low key want to go back to like a resort. I've been feeling the urge lately. I miss it. You know, I miss the all-inclusive resort. I want to go back and I want to talk to fucking Carlos. Hey, bro, give me my margarita. What was his name? His name wasn't Carlos, huh?
Oh yeah, it was Carlos.
The guy that we liked.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Nice. He was real nice.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Why?
We're talking.
You're talking. I'm listening.
So yeah, I'm ready for the summertime. I'm ready to have a great summer.
Everyone is.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Well,
Sweet.
Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we appreciate all the love and support. Anything to say, Andrea? Anything to say, Luca?
No.
Anything to say, Luca?
Go
Luca.
Padres.
What if he all of a sudden was like starts talking? He's like, "Go Padres."
Like, go Padres.
What if he said
go
that?
Tigers.
Would you freak out, or would you be like, "Oh my god, we gotta tell someone"? If Luca started talking, what would be your Don't be be for real.
I would turn around and be like, "Did you just hear that?"
I feel like we would be in shock. Like, are we high? Like, did we take some acid on accident?
I'd be like, whoa.
What would be the craziest thing he would like? What if he's like, hey bitches? What if he has an accent?
No.
What if he has an accent?
It would be so creepy if he was like, "Hi, mommy," like just like completely like.
Oh, I would freak out.
Like I would be like, "Fuck no."
I feel like I would like lock him in the room and like I would like we would be like pacing back and forth like, what do we do?
Yeah,
what do we call? Is there like an animal? Like something's wrong with him. But also we have this unique dog that he's the only dog in the world that can talk. How does he talk?
Yeah, who knows?
Can we use that to make money? Probably.
The first time
I'm not trying to use you to make money, Luca. I promise, but
we wouldn't use you.
sometimes he does sound like he's talking. Like when he yawns, he's like.
He do be doing that.
It's like he's trying to talk in his dog language.
It's like when you do those yawns and you're like.
He's letting out all the demons.
He's letting it all out, and he's just like.
I've also thought like when dogs do that, what if that's their language? Like we talk in English, right? You hear me?
Hold on, let's listen.
We talk in.
Here. No, he's
We
not
talk in
learning.
English, but what if dogs talk in like moaning and like yawning?
Maybe. Who knows? We'll see. We
All right, y'all.
Studied.
On the count of 3, give the peace sign and say peace.
Ready,
1,
Luca?
2, 3.
Bye.
Give the peace sign.